Hi, all. Nice to see you all. And get ready to be inspired to be a true visionary of the world of skincare. Today, we have a pleasure of welcoming the brilliant founder of Wrinkles Schminkles, Gabriele Recona, to our podcast. Wrinkles Schminkles is not just a skincare brand, it's an affordable and non invasive treatment helping to achieve a fresh looking skin and targeted line refillment. This incredible Australian owned brand was born almost a decade ago from one woman's personal mission to combat an unwanted effect of the side sleeping and sun damage on their skin. So let's dive into the inspiring journey of the founder of Wrinkle Schminkles and uncover the secrets behind the revolutionary product and the passion that drives them to change the way we think about skincare. So let's talk about Wrinkles Schminkles. Um, I would like to start with Gabriela. I would like to start with a brand name. I think it's so
Yeah.
playful and cool and really describe so well the company vibes. So not to take the wrinkles seriously. Am I right? How did you come up
Yeah.
with this thing?
Yes. Well, hello first. Hi, Rena. It's so nice to see you again. And thank you for having me on your show. Yeah, the brand name's an interesting one because people generally tend to love it or not or hate it. Strong word, but we do really get some people that love and hate it. But we started the brand 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, it was really when marketing was at its peak of, fear-based marketing. That dreaded word or term, anti-aging, was on high rotation, and women were really made to feel fearful about aging. People had figured out that this was a way to get women to buy, but equally we'd created this range and were ready to launch. We knew what it did, that it had the product efficacy on one hand, but we didn't want to make people feel fearful about aging. So we went out and asked women, we asked our potential customers, 92 of them to be in fact, how they felt about aging and how they felt about different types of brand names. And in the end, we came up with the decision, we made that decision that, on the spectrum of line refining treatments on the market, you sort of got high cost, high risk, invasive facelifts, right down through to something like a reusable wrinkle patch. A reusable wrinkle patch is really low cost, low decision making, and we could be fun and playful with the brand name. So at the end of it, we decided to really brand the range to appeal to that end consumer, a woman very much tired of being made to feel fearful about aging, that could just use a product that's simple to use, affordable, smooth out those lines and wrinkles and get on with the parts of their life, which, there was a lot there to really enjoy. So that's how we came up with the brand name.
Yes, amazing. I think this is such a right way to ask the clients. Is always,
It was very useful because we were under a lot of pressure at the time, being such a high product efficacy product. We were under a lot of pressure to really go with a more of a medical and scientific based brand name. So I'm very thankful that we didn't. It's memorable, and we get the feedback a lot that when women say it, think it, hear it, it makes them smile. And at the end of the day, that's what we want women to feel good about where they're at in their aging process.
Exactly, and so let's speak about the science behind that. Your patches are made from 100% medical grade silicones, right? And
They
it's
are.
manufactured one of the two FDA approved facilities in the United States. So it's
Yeah.
really there is a lot of science behind it. Tell a little bit more, about the science. What is it made from? How you came out? For it?
Yeah, so 100% medical grade silicone has been used in the medical industry for a long time to actually treat scarring on the skin. So if anyone's ever had like a scar, an operation, a surgeon, a dermatologist, a specialist will give you this, prescribe this silicone tape. So we realized that there was a lot of single-use wrinkle patches on the market, well, a couple of brands, but there wasn't really this sort of reusable with the product efficacy of what medical grade silicone could do. So at the time that we were formulating and prototyping, we came across how medical grade silicone works to heal scars on the skin. So it's proven in lots of independent medical studies to actually do a few things: compress the scar on the skin and flatten and plump it out, regulate collagen blood flow, and create an occlusion between the patch and the skin, which traps in hydration and treats the skin. So we set about working with this amazing manufacturer. As you said, he's one of only 2 FDA-approved facilities in the US to create a range that's, same but different. So it's our own formulation that's a bit thicker in a scoring called durometer. But what that does is it allows the patch to keep the skin super taut. So while you side sleep or multitask or talk on the phone or do any expressions that you're doing with, your face and different body parts, it enables the skin to stay taut whilst actually treating the skin by regulating that blood flow, collagen and hydration. So it's very much backed by science. But at the end of it, we were creating a product, that was out there for a cosmetic use. So we do manufacture and have those high costs and that high product efficacy manufacturing in an FDA listed facility to be able to market, and have this great results in the product that we deliver to the market.
Yeah, I'm amazed how simple and at this time sort of like simple science, right, is within this product.
Yeah, it does look very simple. A lot of people, even when they haven't used it before, think it's a very simple piece of plastic, which it's not. It's the medical grade silicone, but it's amazing at such a simple product can actually deliver such great results.
Yes, exactly. Okay, now let's speak about the, like how you call this product. There have been a lot of, like, one of the most popular products, I think, for the last like 10 or 20 or whatever years was always anti-aging, and I've seen so many anti-aging this, anti-aging that. Then there was like a move in the industry for the last few years, actually, at least, right? At least like 3 years. Anti-aging is not good. You cannot say that. It's not allowed. I've been caught, some of the brands really been criticized by like claiming anti-aging.
Yes.
Then pro-aging is becoming as the thing, right? So suddenly everybody moved from anti-aging to pro-aging. But I always felt a little bit, and I understand pro-aging is about like being comfortable in the once you're aging, being comfortable with this fact that you are aging and things like that. But I never really felt also like 100% behind this pro-aging.
I understand. I feel the same. And as a brand, we feel the same. It's actually something I'm very passionate about. I think, 10 years ago, 20, 15 years ago, a marketing genius came up with this term anti-aging, which was really a way of marketing the same products that were out there before, but putting a whole new trend and slant on it. And women responded to it and started buying. So, we're kind of at fault. And then the brands and the industry started really leveraging this term. And I think it's a really negative term that just perpetuates self-criticism and judgment. And it is very outdated. And at the same time, we have come some way. I would say it's probably, for me, I've noticed in the last sort of 2 to 3 years maximum. And it's really in the last 18 months that a few big brands have put their hand up and said, we are not using that term anymore. And we're the same. 10 years ago, when, as I said, when I launched the brand and our business, anti-aging was a very acceptable term to use. There wasn't really negative connotations with it because there was so much fear-based marketing out there. It was really at its peak, and anti-aging as a term was on high rotation. But when you look at what's happened fast forward 10 years, in the last sort of 18 months or 2 years, I think we've come a long way where brands are starting to say, and ourselves included, we no longer, you won't find that term on our website or our packaging or our marketing anymore. And we have drawn a line in the sand. For us, it's come about because 10 years ago when we launched the brand and the business, we did a lot of research. As I said, 92 women, asked them how they felt about everything to do with aging, and we learned a lot. And you get busy over 10 years and you grow and you're on TikTok and you're doing a recycling program and you're doing all these things, but then you sort of step back and we go, okay, it's our 10-year anniversary this year. It's 10 years of us in the market. How do we feel about where we're at? And for us, we were like, oh, not that great. We're a bit outdated in our languaging and our messaging, understanding how women really feel about aging. And so we actually set about doing a really big piece of research work in the market and then holding ourselves accountable internally in the business to say, okay, let's really understand how we feel about aging and the right way to talk about it to our customer, and to start, maybe being somebody that is leading the industry a little bit in terms of making changes. So for us, we want to make sure that we aren't just doing, I sort of liken it to when you open up a Word document and you might do a find and replace, take that term anti-aging, replace it with pro-aging or healthy aging for two examples that you gave. And I feel like, and not all brands, and I'm certainly not, everyone needs to do things at their own pace, and people can continue to use that term if that works for their business and brand. But I feel like it's not just about changing the word, it's about the tone and the sentiment with your marketing, communications and materials as well. It's not just to find and replace and taking out anti-aging, replacing it with pro-aging and healthy aging and continuing to bombard women with the same types of messaging. We already have all of our, innate insecurities as humans. And I think it's time that the industry, and I think for brand owners, skincare and beauty brand owners, I think there's a lot of influence that we can have by taking a bit of a stance and understanding, not just copying what other brands are doing, but understanding your own customer base and deciding what is the appropriate way to communicate to women. And to get them to buy. Like, at the end of the day, you're a commercial enterprise and you do need consumers to buy your products. But how can you do that by also having your hand on your heart and making sure that you're not making women to feel, more insecure, more conscious about aging? Aging and the aging process is something entirely unavoidable. It's happening for all of us. But I think the question is, how do we make sure we're not positioning and telling ourselves that it's something to be anti about?
Yes, yes. Anti has always been good for marketing, right? Because any kind of negativity things usually is like very strong marketing message.
Yes, definitely. And I think, I had a conversation the other day with a US online publication that we're going to do a partnership with, and I had a really interesting conversation with them, one of the editors, the journalist there, and what she said, and it was so great to hear it this way. She said, when you research women and ask them how they feel about anti-aging terms, fear-based marketing in general, they will tell you very succinctly and clearly that they absolutely don't like it and wish brands would stop. But when you research and track and measure what communication and messaging makes them buy, it's a different side of their brain and it's more ego-led. So it's really difficult for brands as well, because, a lot of us have a big DTC, direct-to-consumer businesses, and you can see very clearly what messages make people buy. So then, as a brand, you need to decide, and we have, anti-aging makes people buy, but we've removed all of those terms and terminology from all of our Google AdWords, from our website, from everything, and that does take a hit commercially. But that's what I think is important for us as a brand to do, to be able to have longevity with our customers and make sure we're being responsible ourselves about our contribution in that whole, I guess, aging-based marketing.
Yes, but so the message you're using right now, it's more like, let's...
For us, the messaging we're using right now, which is very unique territory, it's our own territory that we've set about creating. It's really that, aging is very complicated and it's also very individual. And we're shamed if we do want to do something about our aging, and we're shamed if we don't. So we're shamed if we do, if we go out there and change our faces and have a facelift, surgery, things that people notice, we get shamed about that. And then if we don't, we choose to age naturally, suddenly we're looking older than what we're meant to look like, and then so we're shamed about that. So it is very complicated territory, and we definitely don't have all the answers. But I think starting to have the conversations in the industry and putting our hands up and saying, as beauty and skincare brand owners, we have a responsibility as consumers and female consumers buying products. I think we have a responsibility to talk about how we really feel and to maybe even be aware within ourselves of what's making us buy that product. And what sort of messagings that we're responding to.
Exactly. I think it's really good solutions. I think it's a very unique place what you find, how to describe.
We're really excited, and we'll start to really be able to communicate this with a way that makes women feel, like we can have a safe, interesting conversation about it.
Yeah, you find the answer of such difficult questions, actually. And you find a very nice... It's such a difficult questions what to use, anti-aging, pro-aging, aging. It's been debate for years in the beauty industry. Nobody really found the answer, right? And I
Yes,
think this you find it's really very, very interesting and
and I think it's definitely
very
empowering, and I think it's a great thing that we have made progress, even to start
exact.
using and being aware of terms like pro-aging and healthy aging, and to
And
tone
it's true.
things
And it's
down a
true.
bit.
It's empowering and it's also true. You know,
Yes,
this is the situation it is, you know, so let's deal with it. But the way you
definitely.
want to deal with it, you know, it's up to you
Yes,
how you deal with it.
yeah, judgment free.
Exactly, exactly. Amazing. Wow, amazing. Great. Now, the last questions I want to speak about, like if you're building a brand, if you have a beauty brand right now, this
Yeah.
year, 2023, and you think about having it for the next couple of years and and especially to have a good future for this brand, there is no way you can avoid the questions of sustainability. uh,
Mm.
Sustainability is such important part of every brand building this year. So tell me a little bit more about your sustainability sort of vision and how you, what is your look
Yeah,
at it
stance
in.
on it. Yes. So we used to every single year as part of our forward year planning put 3 measures in place to have an impact on our footprint we were leaving on the environment. And then this last year, when did we launch it? What year are we in? Yeah, earlier this year, a couple of months ago, we launched our own recycling program in partnership with TerraCycle. So we were always conscious, as you grow and as you scale, that you're putting more and more into landfill. But there was a real moment for us about 18 months ago, February 22, where we did go viral. We were fortunate enough to go very viral on TikTok. One video still sits at about 55 million views and growing. And collectively, I think across our site, there's about 80 million views or so. But what we did was actually run the numbers. So it's such a beautiful problem to have. You sell out of a SKU and multiple SKUs, and you watch from the TikTok algorithm, your sales peak and spike in different countries at different times. And we really enjoyed that process for obvious reasons. But then you actually look at the after effects, of how we looked at and ran the numbers, how many patches we sold, how many tons of silicone we effectively put into landfill. So we actually set about looking to industry partners of who we could work with. There was no silicon patch recycling programs out there. We are actually the world's first. I hope that the other brands follow suit, but at the moment we are the only brand that actually offers a recycling program across Australia and the US, which are our 2 main markets with our direct-to-consumer business. So it's fully funded by us across the US and then in Australia as well. And people can return literally every single part of our product, packaging, everything, into a envelope, send it back to us or the TerraCycle warehouse address, and it'll be fully recycled into things like garden beds, picnic tables, so a whole lot of different things that we'll be experimenting with in the future as well. But for us, it was really important to actually do something about the products and the rubbish, I guess, that we were leaving behind and putting into landfill.
Yeah, also sometimes educating the consumer to do that, it's
Yeah,
taking also.
the uptake so far, as I said, it's only, I can't remember the exact date, it might be 3 months old. The uptake so far is actually really strong. It's above average in terms of the amount, because the US business with TerraCycle, you request an envelope, a prepaid envelope gets sent out to you. And we got the numbers the other day, and it's way above industry average in terms of how many people are actually requesting those envelopes and sending product back. So far, so good. I mean, we have to keep educating consumers that this program exists for them to use and get in the habit of doing it. So there's still responsibility on us and on the consumers to actually take action, but we're in it for the long haul, and we would be happy if every single product got returned and recycled at a cost to us.
Yeah, I just was thinking it's probably like having such a big social media following is really helping for you to pass this message across, right? Since you have built already such a good channels on the TikTok and other social media, right?
Yeah, no, it definitely helps. All of the communication channels help, and all those touch points, email marketing and all of our socials and everything also help to make sure we were just remind and prompt people in all our emails, even in our sale emails, just putting that reminder that you can recycle the products after. It's a good place to capture the attention of people, when they're in that buying mindset.
I think it's an amazing brand and absolutely great candidate for the Blue Beauty Award, which we have launched uh, for the fourth year this year. And
Wonderful.
Yes, would love to see you nominated, and I think I have seen your nominations already there. So let's see. And I'm very excited. We have been so impressed by your brand. We have invited you to speak, to join the speaking panel at our next conference in Austin. So I'm super excited to see you again.
Yes, thank you. I can't wait to see you. I thoroughly enjoyed, as you know, the San Diego event in
Yes.
February, I think that was. So I'd love
Yeah.
to be able to attend another one. So thank you.
And we loved your products in a beauty bag.
Yes,
I
we
think
can
I
we
think
can
it's
do it again this time if you like. You're
I
welcome
think
to some more.
such amazing product. I have actually, yes, anyway. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a great conversation. First of all, I really enjoy to tell every time wrinkles schminkles. I think it's so much fun. I don't know. I think the more brands should have some kind of like fun name like that, you know. So we talk about the name brand, how you came out with it. We talk about the science. There's this unbelievable science behind this brand. We talk about the pro-aging, anti-aging sort of messaging within the industry, which was extremely interesting in this conversation. I think it was like, I would say, in the heart of this talk, and it is very interesting to learn that there is a silicone recycling program out there, and you are pioneering that, which is also amazing. So great efforts. Thank you very much. I hope you all guys enjoyed meeting the founder of Wrinkle Schminke, Gabriela, and I would invite you to come to Austin to meet her in person. Right?
Oh, thank you, Arena. Thank you for having me. I always enjoy seeing you and talking to you.
Bye, all.
Bye.